Hi Libra, this is your forecast for the month of August 2017. If you have visited me before, thank you for returning. And if you are new, welcome. This is a general reading for Libra Sun, Libra Rising, or Libra Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, for love, finance, and other readings. So Libra, you are starting off the month of August with some negative energy, possibly. There's some discord going on. You could find yourself dealing with people who are in negative competition. There's a tit-for-tat mentality, a one-upmanship. Somebody could be acting out of spite or malice, or, spreading some rumors, conducting some kind of smear campaign. There could be something happening sort of behind the scenes, like a sneak attack, or there's just general hostility in a situation where people are being manipulative, tactless, insensitive, or just downright deceitful and destructive. This is also a warning card whenever it appears, and it says, think about yourself, your own behavior, and how you may be pushing the envelope too far. You may be overstepping some boundaries. It's likely that you are frustrated with a situation. Of course, you're dealing with negative situations, and it's a trigger for you, though, for you to take something in hand and deal with it. Something that maybe you already know you should have taken care of a long time ago. You just let this situation go on and on and on. For whatever reason, you didn't want to deal with it. You were hoping it would go away. So something is going to be the catalyst for you to go ahead and do what you should have previously. But this is a week to be careful about, letting this frustration get to you and just lashing out, being impatient, or being too cocky and overconfident where you end up taking a foolish risk. Because in the negative, it could be, again, that you have been doing something where you've been ignoring the signs. It's been staring you in the face, and yet you've been taking a situation for granted, perhaps yourself, maybe your health, or another person. So this could be a week where, that comes home to roost. You have to deal with a situation where maybe, you feel a little bit, your pride gets wounded, or you feel some kind of rejection, or you get some kind of reality check. This is also saying, do not play around with your physical safety. If you've been ignoring doctor's orders, or you need to go get a health checkup, or yourself, you've been living in ways that work against your health, this is the week to pay attention to that. Be mindful of it, because whatever's going on with you, it may be even difficult to figure out. You may have something kind of mysterious where it's difficult to pinpoint the source of this illness. And also make sure you're careful about the medication that you take. There could be some side effects, so make sure you're taking the right medication, the right dosage, and you're getting the right diagnosis. This could be a week where you're very easily distracted. It's difficult for you to focus. I've noticed that when this card shows up, and it doesn't have to be a big thing, but you can make mistakes. So this would be you, throwing the file away that you meant to keep, or accidentally deleting something off of the computer that you meant to save, or you threw something in the trash. So this is a week to be very conscious, very focused, on the task at hand, because if you're distracted or you're annoyed or irritated, it could cause you to create a misunderstanding with other people or some type of accident. But this is going to be the week where something comes to light, some kind of revelation that gives you a new perspective. There could be some new information and, again, a greater self-awareness. So if you've been dealing with frustrating situations or people, challenging circumstances, this is the week where you just finally decide, you know what, I'm going to just put all my doubts aside. I'm going to go ahead and face the demon and deal with it. So you move forward on a situation, something that you were wondering about. Is this going to happen? Maybe there were other people who were in charge of making the decision and you didn't know. But now you're going to inquire. You're going to check into something that's been bothering you, something that's been hanging in limbo, just so you can know how you can better move forward. So something is going to come out into the open. It could be that, again, you need to think outside of the box for a situation, and be careful about, the spirit of competition, winning at all costs, or winning and having that end up as a hollow victory. For some of you, you're actually going to be cleared of some kind of wrongdoing, or, something is going to focus on giving you some kind of vindication. But this is generally, it tends to lean toward the negative side. Now, the second week, you have this Eight of Pentacles. So if you were having trouble getting focused last week, this week you're down to business. You are intent on doing a good job. Maybe you're learning something. Maybe you're getting some training. Maybe you're studying. Maybe you're changing your career. Maybe you had a negative situation and now you want to look for something different, something that's going to provide you a greater sense of material security. So you may be entering a new field of work, or perhaps, you're going to work for yourself now, or some negative situation has come up and now you've got to save some money. So you're focused on, building up your investments, doing some saving, getting what you're worth for your talents and your skills. So you're being very cautious about achieving some kind of goal. And again, you could be learning something or teaching and mentoring. But whatever it is, you want to do it well. And you're focused on the details, and the details are important this week. How well the craftsmanship involved in something. So something is going to come up, some type of change or challenge or obstacle or situation. And instead of, caving in to that pressure and that negative energy, you're going to rise above, and it's going to motivate you to get up and do what you need to do because you want to be a success. So again, this is a week where you're focused on increasing, what you have in the bank. And you've decided that, you want to guide how things turn out for you. So maybe you take on a second job, or again, you go into business for yourself, or you just focus on, saving money, or maybe paying off your debts, paying your bills. This could be a week where you get some promotion, or maybe you decide to start an interview, probably with that last week card. Maybe you had to act in your own self-interest, and now this week you're going to do whatever is necessary for your own bottom line. If you were dealing with something negative, maybe if you're training people, you're dealing with people who are difficult, who don't want to apply themselves. But this could be a week where you're focused on taking the steps to improve something, including your health. If health was an issue last week, you now realize, hey, I've got to do better. I've got to take care of myself better. If the negative no-win situation last week is part of this week's energy, then this is about somebody who is cutting corners. They're trying to, take the easy way out. Maybe, somebody's been misusing their skills. They're doing poor work, maybe putting in a lot of effort and not getting anything back. For some of you, this could be a week where you're going around in circles because there's unemployment. You don't have security, or whatever income you have is only for the short term. There could be issues of waste or even cheating. So something could come up this week, some emergency, some unexpected situation that you just can't get around. And that situation is going to eat up your cash or threaten your savings or your security in some way. The negative situation could be the realization that you're working with negative people in a company where that's going nowhere, or there's some changes that are taking place that put you at risk somehow. Or if you are finally addressing this medical issue, it could be that it's more serious than you thought. It could be you or somebody close to you. The other thing, though, is that the negative energy could be coming from being too focused on what's wrong, because this is a card about repetition, doing the same thing over and over, holding on to stuff, being too detail oriented, blowing things out of proportion, having too many petty grievances, or again, being too nitpicky or critical or judgmental of others. Either you're putting that energy out or you could be receiving it. It could be that, there's too much indulgence going on, that you're in a rut. You're doing the same things over and over and over, and yet, even though nothing's happening, you continue to indulge yourself in such a way that's negative. Now, in the positive, you're working hard, and this is normally a labor of love. You're invested in this and you're willing to work hard because you're trying to manifest something. You're trying to get away from that negative situation by focusing in on your work, doing a good job, using your personal power to change something. Or either, you're stuck doing the same thing again and again and getting negative results. The third week, you have this Seven of Wands. So you're trying to gain some kind of an advantage. Now, maybe this is an advantage in your work, or maybe, again, that negative energy is still in the environment and you're trying to defend yourself from other people. You're trying to protect yourself. You feel as if you're being taken advantage of, or that you're under siege in some kind of way. People may be attacking you. It could be that there are just some very strong challenges that you have to overcome. And you're going to have to stand your ground to get through a situation. Maybe even be a little bit aggressive, or be, act in defiance, especially if you feel strongly about something. You're standing in your conviction. So this could be a week where some things come to a head. But remember, the first week, the Five of Swords says that be careful of overstepping boundaries. So part of the issue could be that you're not being flexible enough. You're being overly critical and demanding. And, you just are not going to give. You're not going to give on your position. But the less adaptable you are, you may find yourself stuck in an upsetting situation. So this is going to be a week that does offer you some opportunity to get ahead, but it also offers some challenges as well. So you are going to have to work very, very hard, especially if there were some errors made in the past, some misjudgments, some mistakes, some oversight. So now you're having to work harder to get ahead, and even the smallest of tasks takes up a lot of your energy. It could be that there is a negative situation and that people are coming to you. They want to know what you think. Can you offer some advice? Can you help us? What are your ideas? And you may have to make some changes in order to deal with that. You may have to rearrange your schedule. Or if this is financial, you may have to reconsider your priorities. If you're trying to move past that negative situation, and it likely does involve others and some kind of dynamic between others, you're going to have to be very careful about how you go about getting the results that you want. If you're trying to rally people to your side, then you're going to have to use some psychology. It can't just be you're going at people and you're criticizing their work, or you're criticizing who they are, or you're making judgments. This has to be where you try to take on the other vantage point and rally people to your side, to influence them, to inspire them, to motivate them, to guide them, to be an example. Now, if this is about you, if you're under attack, you're going to feel like, hey, I'm doing the best I can. I'm giving you my all. And still you want, the last drop. You want more than I can give you. And so, but this is all about a mindset and, possibly changing your attitude in some way, and being careful that whatever you're dealing with is not pushing you to act out on other people. So this could be a week where you need to rethink some things in order to gain an advantage. Now, if this is health, it could be that you need to take more time for yourself. The advantage comes through pampering yourself, taking care of you, being good to you. Maybe even, trying to improve the inner and the outer in order to feel better about a situation. Now, the last week, this is more dissatisfaction. Something is missing in your situation. Maybe it's a work environment, or maybe it's some project or something, some educational pursuit. And you're not feeling quite good about where you are in the situation, and you're having to think about, what to do next. You may decide to take a time out just to figure out what to do next. Somebody may be offering you something that you don't want. It could be some kind of offer where to them, this may be a good thing for you. But when you look at it, when you consider it, you know what's best for you. And you know that in the long run, this doesn't work for you. So you may decide to refuse it. Whatever it is, this is going to be a week where something either puts you in one of two camps. Either you're feeling anxiety and some kind of worry or discontent, or you're feeling that, hey, I'm sitting here and things are just coming to me. It could be something is being offered and you're not paying attention, in which case you might miss an opportunity. If you feel good about where you are financially, with regard to your relationships, then this is going to be a week where a number of opportunities will present to you that may give you an advantage, but again, only if you're paying attention. Now, you may be thinking about something that has gone wrong, this negative energy, or things not working out, or having to protect yourself. And because of that, you don't quite know where you are in this moment. You don't know, it's hard for you to look ahead. You barely know what's going to happen right now. And so you may be thinking back, especially if you acted out. You may be thinking about whether you made the right choice or you did the right thing because of the repercussions. Or if you're dealing with this energy and trying to gain an advantage, you may not be able to deal with anybody offering you anything because you don't have time to relax. You got to figure out a solution. You got to get this thing worked out, and you just can't entertain anything else. Even if it's good advice, you're just not even listening. You've got a one-track mind on getting something resolved. Now, for some of you, you're not accepting something. You haven't accepted that a situation that you're involved in has now changed, and possibly for the more negative. And maybe that's really hard for you to come to terms with. This may have to do with your dreams, your aspirations, or whether you've been unrealistic about something or a situation. Now, the underlying energy is the Lover's card. So this is the only major. And so you have all of the elements, this only one major. So you regardless of whatever is going on, you are largely in control of the situation. You can exert your free will to take it down whichever path you want. This is a month that's going to focus on your partnerships, whatever kind they may be. Your lover, your business partner, your friendships, your good friends. And this could also focus on, connecting with healers as well. It's all about choices. You're having to make a choice, and it may seem like an impossible choice. You may be dealing with opponents, or whether somebody's committed to something, or whether you're committed to something. Some of you may be struggling with some type of temptation. There could be trust issues. You're getting involved with new people, or you're having to make some kind of major choice or important decision. But you are at a fork in the road this month. There are consequences to the choices that you make, and you may be reviewing an important relationship. There could be a choice that has, some type of serious trial attached to that. And again, you may be torn between these two things, two options, two possibilities, two lovers. So the good news is that this is going to be a month where you're going to be able to get clear about something. Remember the Five of Swords, although negative, it does trigger you to do some things and address some situations that you should have a long time ago to find out where you're headed. So you're going to get the chance to repair something, to improve it, to fix it, or clarify it. And you're going to gain more awareness and understanding of other people in the process that lends a peace of mind to your situation. You are probably going to meet one or more people this month that are important to your future and your destiny, or you could be reconnecting with somebody from your past. But this is going to be a month where you're driven to take on more responsibility. You're being more dedicated, and you've got a lot of personal appeal to use at your disposal in order to influence situations, to bring people to your side. So it's easy for you to attract people to yourself. Again, people may be seeking you out, asking you your advice, getting your assistance. And this is also adding to your stress level, because this adds another layer of challenge to achieving your goals. So you might enjoy these connections and interactions. You may enjoy people seeking you out and asking your opinion. One of the things is, hopefully you have the gift of humor, because that can go a long way for you this month. That's going to be, a key that you can use to smooth some issues out, to handle some differences, to not make people feel like they're being threatened, even though you may be addressing some serious issues. In general, this could be a month where, in spite of the negative energy, you feel more playful, more willing to take a risk, more spontaneous. And if you put in that hard work, you could gain an advantage. You could be more artistic, more academic, more creative, and get noticed because of it. You could get an award, some kind of promotion or a bonus or some special recognition. Or with the negative energy, maybe somebody comes back and gives you an apology. Whatever the case, partnerships are in focus, and even the best of partnerships are going to experience some kind of tension, some kind of strain. And you may be thinking of trying to repress your emotions, but it's better for you to say what you feel. Although you need to say it diplomatically, you don't need to lash out at others, because again, that can cost you in some way. But once you clear the air and you express whatever is heartfelt for you, you're going to find that things do smooth out. Things will become less traumatic. And this is all about being satisfied with yourself and who you are. So you may need to realize, stop dancing the dance. You don't have to be somebody else's version of you. You don't have to be inauthentic to yourself. You can live your truth and be who you are, because nobody else can do that. And once you stop trying to live up to these expectations that really belong to other people, then all of your relationships are going to improve. So this is a month for you to be for you not to be too subservient to other people, to give in to too many demands, to let people push you around, intimidate you, try to gain an advantage over you. It's also not a month for you to be too jealous or overly demanding, and to use the charm that you're packing this month wisely. This is not about using charisma to exploit other people or pulling that out every time you want to make something happen. You know, you put on the charm and thinking that that is enough to convince other people to see a situation the way you want them to see it. So there's some choices to be made. You're going to get some wisdom. You may be making some decisions about whether to get more training or education or to give that to other people. But there will be some issues that center around knowledge or truth. And also, again, trying to get that inner peace that only comes with living your own truth. You may need to seek some spiritual guidance to do that. There are going to be some emotional developments for you that are driven by your decisions concerning security, financial, emotional, belonging. And also, again, the opportunity to get clear, to clarify, to improve, to mend. But you have a lot of control in the situation. It could be that somebody is being bullied or pressured into making a decision that they really don't want to make. And it could be that there's some insensitivity where people are not really considering the feelings of others. But in spite of all this pressure, somebody's trying to hold on to their position, although doing so feels like it's coming at a very emotionally high price. They're paying a price to stick to whatever their guns are. So somebody may decide they're going to stay within an abusive relationship, or somebody may feel that they have to pass some kind of test, meet some kind of objective, pass some kind of limitation, and then when they get to the end of it, it feels anticlimactic, as if they put all of this effort in and yet there's not really a whole lot that they got out of it. This is about trying to accept a situation for the truth of what it is, rather than trying to paint it into something else. To resign yourself to the fact that maybe you want it to be like that. Maybe you want it to be white, but the truth is it's black, and that's what it is. So that may be difficult. There could be some confusion, some anxiety about a situation where it's necessary to seek out somebody who has experience that can help. And for some of you, especially if there's a health issue involved, it could be something connected to recovering from an addiction and connecting with others, attending some kind of support group. All right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.